Wednesday, and the word for you today, we've been talking about quiet time, our quiet time this week. As we continue that in Psalm 119, 107, Psalm chapter 119, verse 107, the writer says, I have suffered much. Renew my life, O Lord, according to your word. The author speaks of much suffering. Yet, who does he turn to in his suffering? He turns to the Lord. I'm sure you have suffered in a lot of ways. Who do you turn to? Who do you turn to when life hurts? Hopefully, it's God. The other day I was mowing. As I was mowing, suddenly some bees started attacking my legs and my ankles and stinging me. And I was wanting to get the yard mowed. Well, all of a sudden, I didn't care anymore about mowing the yard. I just let go of the mower and headed for the house. And got inside, and man, my legs and ankles were hurting, stinging, they were hurting. And I didn't care that the yard was half mowed. I didn't care what it looked like. All I cared was getting relief from the pain that I was experiencing. And when we're suffering, that's what we want, isn't it? We want relief from pain. Other things really don't matter at that point. We just want relief from the pain. And there are times when we're hurting so bad, we that's all we want. It's just relief from that. So how do we get relief from our pain? Our pain may not be physical. Sometimes the greatest pain is internal. It's a soul pain. Well, the first thing is reach out to God. God knows how you feel, and he cares. Reach out to him because he's the one who can help you. And then the second thing, go to his word, go to the Bible. God gave us his word to help us to know how to live and how to deal with the situations that come up in life. So reach out to God, go to his word, and then talk to him. Tell him about your problems. Tell him what you want. Tell him how you feel. You say, well, he already knows. Yeah, he does. But there's something about telling him that helps us. Open up your heart to him. Be transparent. And just talk to God. Just like we're talking right now. And the fourth thing, listen for God's voice. Sometimes I spend so much time telling God the situation as if he didn't already know, but he still wants us to talk to him. Sometimes I forget to listen. That's the idea of a quiet time, just going somewhere and shutting out the distractions and just listen. Listen for God's voice. And then when you hear it, trust him and obey. You say, well, what do you mean? You're hurting. You're hurting and you poured your heart out to God and you feel like God is speaking to you. And it may be God says, just spend time with me. Then do that. Just spend time with him and let him heal you. It may be he'll tell you to go do something. Then just simply go do it. Well, I don't know what that has to do with helping me and my hurts. No, you may not, but God does. Just trust him and obey him. Go and do what he says. What is it that you need to talk to God about today? When we hurt and we're afraid, nothing else really matters. We need relief, and we need to go to God. There was a doctor, Dr. Paul Brand. He was a leprosy expert, and he worked with lepers all the time, and he gave a lot of speeches and all in his experiments and all. He said leprosy at a certain point is not contagious to the person helping. And he worked with lepers, hundreds, thousands of lepers. But always in the back of his mind was, what if I get leprosy from doing this? Well, one day he'd worked and he'd finished the day and it seemed like every day, every time when he got done working with the lepers, as he got ready for bed that night, was checking his body for any patches of skin that seemed to not have any feeling. And that night, as he was getting ready for bed, one of his heels felt numb. And so he kind of pinched it and didn't feel anything. And a thought went to his mind, uh-oh. And then he went and got a pin, and stuck the pin, and couldn't feel anything. And then he pushed it in so far that it started bleeding. And he stopped the blood. And that night, restless night. How's he going to tell his family that he has leprosy? How's he going to tell them that he's going to have to be separated from them? How is life is going to totally change for him. What he has seen other people go through, he's going to go through. And it was a sleepless night. And he got up the next morning, and the first things he did was take that pin and stick it in his heel, and he went, ow. Well, what had happened was he had pinched a nerve or something, and his heel, and it was temporarily numb, so he couldn't feel anything. He hadn't contracted leprosy, but that night he dealt all night with fear of having leprosy. And nothing else mattered. Sleep didn't matter. Nothing else mattered. Why? Because of the fear of leprosy. Well, we may not have a fear of leprosy, but there are things that we worry about, things we struggle with. And when we are in that position, nothing else matters, does it? And we can either stay in that state of fear, or we can go to God. What is it that you need to talk to God about in quiet time today? Would you go and talk to him? Go and talk to him, and then listen, and then just trust him and obey, because he loves you. Have a good day.